Gemini, how are my twins? So I'm running a little special right now in terms of private readings. So until June, that's when I'm pretty sure the special will cease. You guys can get a private reading from me for 30 bucks. I'm sorry, I apologize. 30 minutes for $22. I'm kind of leaning more towards couples. It can, be qualified as a lovers or love spread, you know. But I mean, you can do also general if you like. But I want to say I'm leaning more towards the couple. That's the focus, right? And the reason why I'm doing this is because I've noticed, or I have been noticing that, around with people in my social group and my family members, that people are having a lot of, or couples are having a lot of issues right now, which is understandable. All the craziness going on in the sky. So I kind of had a moment where I was like, how can I help my subscribers and, also my newcomers too? I was like, oh, okay, I'll run a little special and, until June and, try and maybe help people gain some clarity and see where things are going for them and, give them, have a chance to get a little private reading maybe to kind of help gain some understanding to what the heck is going on, right? Or maybe just kind of just help them think about things maybe in a different perspective, So yeah, if you would like to book the private reading, go ahead and check the description box. Everything's there, and it also includes a link to my website, and everything else is there, and everything's pretty straightforward in terms of the information on my website and things of that nature. So go ahead and pay through PayPal, book your time and your date, and we're going to get you started and get you set up, and we'll do a private reading and get it all squared away. So yeah, the special is, like I said, $22 for 30 minutes, possibly 2 questions. But like I said, visit the website and the description box, and I'll let you know everything there. So this spread I'm doing right now, it's going to be a 9-card spread. So it's basically general as well as relationship. It's more towards geared towards you as an individual, kind of, that's how I'm doing it with these nine card spreads. It's more of you as an individual and how you're portraying yourself, kind of in a sense, and what you're bringing to the table of the relationship. Okay, one more shuffle here, and we'll go ahead and start. Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please intercede into this reading to provide Gemini with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks. And please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay those messages as they are meant and intended to be. All right. So, Gemini, what is up? I know that my spreads lately have been a little crazy when it comes to you guys, but after 3 separate whole decks, I mean completely different decks in all shapes and forms, and completely 3 totally different authors as well. The 7 of Pentacles. It's becoming a little strange even for myself too to have to write things that I do, but whatever pops out is how I interpret it, and the messages that are meant to be there. So yeah, I can't really say much because it just kind of like, it is what it is kind of thing, like what comes from the cards and the messages and the meanings of the cards, and the discernment and all of that there. Okay, this card wants to pop out, so I'm going to take it. The Ace of Wands, But Gemini, funny fact, right? I just had this moment with my pops, right? So I was like, why is this happening? You know, where the readings for the Geminis are coming out so negative and all about the secrets and the lies and deceptions, and you know, it's like a broken record, right? Sometimes it feels like, even I'm starting to feel like that. And then with all the issues going on in the media, freaking Trump is a Gemini. And all of a sudden I had that moment where I was like, say what? Isn't that weird? He's also, I want to say, a Leo rising with the Sagittarius moon, I think. And I'm like, wow, what a combination, right? I mean, hey, I have an Aries moon, so I'm not going to say anything, you know, too much. But okay, the Six of Swords in reverse. So I just, you know, thought I'd share that with you guys because I was like, oh my God, say what? It's just one of those moments. I was like, so have my spreads for Gemini's been all about damn Trump? Like, I don't know, it was weird. It was kind of funny. It was a moment, but so okay, let's get to the messages here of the reading. That wants to pop out. We're going to take it. The Ace of Swords. So Gemini, you can see that you've been very contemplative, right? Contemplating about how to manifest things, the best way to move forward, the best road, or the, you know, to take. Chariot in reverse. Just the, you know, best direction to take. And the start, right? Which is good, Gemini. You know, it's always good to be contemplative and to always weigh your options out and see what's, you know, best fits you and suits you for your needs. But at the same time, Gemini, though, I'm feeling, or I'm seeing, I should say, a lack of hope. Why do you kind of feel like that, Gemini? That maybe almost like Four of Cups. Kind of starting to maybe feel like you're starting to have a little bit of doubt that maybe you can't achieve these things that you want to achieve. But you have the creativity and you have the spunk and the spontaneity and, you know, any of those other adjectives in support of my claim, but that you have the drive. I can see it. And you want it. You do. Like, you're like, okay, enough of this crap. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And you're planning it out, and, you know, it seems like it's pretty good. But I kind of feel, Gemini, that you're not really too hopeful that it will continue, or that it would actually work out for you in the long run. But I kind of feel too, or I'm seeing as well, Gemini, that, you know, it could be a good thing. It's possible. You know, with the Ace of Swords here, it's the beginning of understanding, of intellect, grasping, you know, that beginning stages of open communication, of gaining the clarity also due to the communication, you know, being start. But we have to remember too, Gemini, an ace represents a new start. It's the beginning stages, right? So you have the beginning stages in terms of the creativity and the beginning stages of actually beginning to manifest and to actually work towards this goal that you're trying to achieve, right? If we're going to relate it to a relationship, which pretty much this is going to kind of be the focus, maybe starting something new with someone, possibly maybe a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But if you're going to have those moments of maybe self-doubt or of lacking hope, Gemini, that can, prevent you from moving forward or having all of that support for yourself in hopes that things will work out. It can prevent a lot of that. And we have the Chariot here in reverse as well. So that card fell right there. Let me go and grab it. So it's the Father of Swords, which is like the King of Swords. So we have somewhat of stagnation right in the center of your reading, right? Okay. Now we must ask what's causing this stagnation if we have an Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords, Yeah, it's a beginning of new things, which is great. Communication and actually action of implementing it and of doing it. And having that expansion of the mind, Gemini, are we maybe not appreciating the small things that are kind of there? The Four of Cups here is kind of making me conclude that we're kind of keeping things to ourselves. We're kind of just walking, on the cups. Judgment reverse. And we're kind of just trying to sneak by a little bit. Yeah, maybe. Because, in numerology, in terms of, tarot, implementing or mixing them of the two, 4 is a number of proper application. But when it comes to cups, it can kind of get a little hairy. Can lead to maybe some stagnation. And the World reverse. The stagnation can maybe cause you to rid yourself of emotions to get a better, clearer understanding of things, right? But, Gemini, it's still preventing you from moving forward. And since you have Judgment in reverse, that's also, obviously Judgment is off, or I could, signify that. But also too, Gemini, when Judgment is in reverse, kind of can signify not seeking truth, or not seeking it in an appropriate manner, or choosing to ignore it. Let's go with that. I think that's more what I'm getting from the reading. Choosing to ignore kind of the truth. Choosing to kind of just be like, do one of those and kind of turn your head. But then the World reverse is kind of signifying, letting you know that maybe that's not the best thing to be doing. It's not really the best method in terms of how to go about things. I'm kind of feeling, Gemini, that we need to involve our emotions more in our dealings. And I feel like you are kind of coming to that conclusion that we do need to implement them more, because that's when we gain understanding. And that's where we gain objectivity, per se. And also, it helps us see people in a different light. Also helps us see, ourselves in a different light as well. But there's still a lot of stagnation going on, though, Gemini. And I feel like it's a lot of being in your head a little bit too much. It's causing you to kind of overthink things. And I think that when you are in your head a little bit too much, it's kind of when the ideas start to spark up, like the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords here. And that's when we maybe can start to say, maybe I can do it like this, and maybe possibly, get away with that in a sense, or maybe I can like move this around here. Or, that's when that kind of the plotting kind of comes in. Not saying that the plotting is, anything detrimental or it's like nefarious in any kind of way. But those thoughts tend to run through our minds when we're starting to think about all of the aspects, We're only human, it happens. But I feel like right now, going on in the present, there is some stagnation going on. But your line of communication is actually opening up. You're starting to realize that I need to start speaking to people maybe a little bit more. And I need to start to appreciate the small things that are there. And maybe possibly not be so critical, Because I feel like with the Judgment card here, and then right before it we have the Father of Swords here, a master of communication. Someone who rids, like I said, rids himself of his emotions to actually find the answer, right? But right before the Father of Swords here is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups here can speak, of a little bit of stagnation. It's not that the card kind of symbolizes that, it just says that the actions or the emotions that go into it cause that. It causes us to not apply our emotions to the situation as actively as we really should. So therefore, when we rid ourselves of the emotion, then we fail to see other things from other perspectives. And this will lead to issues with people in general, with your significant other. Leads to a lot of those issues going on, and most importantly, leads to not moving forward, Gemini, with things that you want to do. Because I can see it. Look at this. These are great cards right here. They're really, really good cards. Beginning of new ideas and communicating those ideas and communicating open line of communications and swift action and making them happening or making them manifesting them. And then also having the Ace of Wands here too. This is pretty good too. This is the creation, the the optimism, the drive, the action of moving or of beginning to develop what it is that you would like to do or need to do. And these are great cards, you know. But what's kind of throwing me off too, you know, Gemini, is if we have all the great ideas and all the, you know, the planning is in place, why are we not moving? Or why is there an obstruction into moving forward? Coming up for you, I think maybe we need to be less critical, involve our emotions more in our situations and in our dealings, so that then our judgment can be on point. Because I feel like when you don't rid yourself, you know, of only being so, kind of being too critical, you know, it leads to the destiny maybe not being there, or things coming up for you that are not ideal. You know, or things not kind of working out the way that you know, anticipated them to. And especially when you have these ideas and you're like, okay, I want to do A, B, and C, and everything sounds great on paper, but you know, and we can sign it, but if we need the assistance of other people, who's the co-signer? Because, you know, whenever we need help from people or things of that nature, requiring help or asking for help, we can't do every single thing exactly how we would want to do it, right? Because if we could do it on our own, then we wouldn't ask for help. And I feel like you were going through this period, you know, of losing hope, of not having or achieving that personal adjustment, of finding those answers. It was just like that block. Like, oh, I want to do this. Okay, cool. Like, you know, having planning it out, seeing which road to take, right? Having your, I call them faith focals, the sevens, you know, just kind of having that blind faith and being contemplative and thinking about things and, okay, I'm going to go and do this, and being reflective, right? And then having those great, wonderful ideas, you know, but then that mindset that goes into it, like, oh, it probably won't work. Yeah, you don't know. There's no chance unless you take one. But I feel like a lot of this spread is kind of giving me adjustment. There's still a lot of adjustment that needs to go on. But I do feel like it's a good thing, though, because you are in that state of contemplativeness, you know, contemplation, I should say, because those issues are starting to rise, you know, arise within you to be contemplative, to feel the need to have to do this. Okay, Gemini, I think that concludes the reading. It wasn't too bad, right? Shoot. So yeah, if you'd like to book a private reading, go ahead and like I said, visit the description box. The link's there to my website. Go ahead and go ahead and pay for it through PayPal, and book your time and your date, and we'll get you set up, and we'll go ahead and make it happen for you. Okay? The couple spread will be different. It won't be like this. Go ahead and save that as the surprise element, right? But okay. Hope you enjoyed your little spread here, and make sure you book your private reading.